Yeah, the part of my voice today seems to be a little hoarse. So anyway, the dream is over for those that have been hoping for the Fed to pivot. As expected, the Fed announced a 25 basis point increase to the interest rate today. But those that were hoping for a pause or a rate cut for this year were greatly disappointed because Powell had reiterated a rate cut in 2023 is not a base case. And he also stated that it will likely want more tightening in the future to bring inflation back down to 2%. And looking at this table here, today the worst performer is the small cap and the Dow Jones Transportation. They both lost a little bit over 2%. And the best performer is the NASDAQ 100. It lost only 1.3%. So for the year to date, the NASDAQ 100 is still holding almost a 15% gain for the year. And the Dow Jones Industrial lost 3.33%. And looking at this intraday chart here, you can see that the SP 500 was pretty much in the positive and negative territory, kind of bouncing around until the FOMC announcement came. Then it was trying to find a direction. Then when Powell presser got going, the S&P 500 decided to move up until it got the message that it is not going to see a pivot this year, and most likely there's going to be more interest rate increase in the near future just to fight inflation. And this recent bank crisis is not going to be addressed using monetary policy. So that kind of got the market sold off. And also you notice that the new high, new low being on the in the favor of the new low throughout the session. And even on the up-down volume ratio, you could see that the indecision here, but most of the time it was negative. So we could see that the market is already positioning to a sell-off. Right? There were more sell down volume than up volume even before the FOMC announcement. And in addition to that, we also noticed that the VIX was starting to come up. And then after the presser, J Powell's presser, the VIX came back up to the 22 level. And look at the put call ratio. The put call ratio been climbing throughout the session and really took off a little bit more as the presser got going. And also the advanced decline, we're seeing more declining stock than advancing stock even before the announcement. And you see that accelerated after the press conference was over. If you find the content in this video to be informative and useful, be sure to smash the thumbs up to give it a like and help promote this video on YouTube. And if you are new to this channel and like to continue to watch these videos from me, then subscribe. And the other more interesting things to see was this the cumulative tick. You see the cumulative tick been negative, throughout the session, except at the beginning of the session, the first 2 hours. So, but you see that been pretty negative going into the announcement, going into this 2 o'clock Eastern time. The FOMC announcement. And also you notice that the advanced decline was negative. Got a little bit of a choppiness after the FOMC announcement, but you see this dive coming down. It's ended at 1,400 more negative, more declining issue than advancing issue. Similarly, almost 2,000 more decliner than advancer in the NASDAQ market. You see the the up-down volume ratio was negative as well, 5-1 in favor of the down volume. Same thing in the New York Stock Exchange, almost 6-1. So this was a tell before the FOMC announcement come out that the market is sort of setting up for a possible sell-off. Right? Definitely, the market participant is already taking a position or repositioning their position coming in. So yesterday rally is more like setting up a sucker rally to sucker the retail trader in, and then they just dump it today all throughout the session and really dump it after the announcement came out. Now let's take a look at the emini S&P 500, the ES on this market profile chart. Remember yesterday we talked about these levels here that we're saying that if it is come up and it will take this out. It took the single print, resolved the single print, and then it was on the downside. We said they're going to take these out, clear up all these unfinished business or poor structures. So now, right now, today is settled down here at 39.72 and 3/4. So we do have some single print from today, and let me switch that over to today's And here's today, we see that there is this single print being left behind, and here's the POC. Okay, notice that it came up and tried to reclaim this FOMC level, the previous FOMC level, 4073, and it got rejected. Okay, so again, remember we were saying that once we get that rejection, we're talking about this, this balance area here, right? This 3840, 3940 to 4040. And we're saying if it could get up and reclaim this 4073, then we be looking at this balance area here to see would it be able to enter this balance area above this 4100. And right now, it appears that it is coming back down to this balance area. And we most likely are going to see it come down and break this balance area, the lower edge, and come down to these poor structure down here and try to clean up some of these unfinished business below 3900 level. So that's what we're going to be watching for, is these level in the near future for the ES to come down and take these out and clean it up. And on this weekly chart here on the candlestick for the ES, you see that it is still inside of this balance area. So although we had a rejection here today, but right now we're just going to keep an eye on it to see would it come down to this lower edge and dip below this 3940, 3950 area and break out of this consolidation zone and start its major move down to possibly to the pre-pandemic high. I did a major move on a last night's video, so if you want to check that out to see what are some of the level for the SPY, go and check that video out if you haven't seen it. So that's basically what we are looking at right now for the weekly. And we came up on the daily chart. We came up to this weekly upper range of 4078, 4080 area, and then we got rejected and came back down. Remember, I was saying that watch this composite point of control. If it dipped below this, then we could see it eventually trace back down, take out this lower range of the weekly expected move, and come down to this lower edge of this balance area here. So we'll be watching that the price action to take a dip down now and see what it get down to this 3850 level. And on this 1 hour chart for the SPY, as you can see, I was watching these level here. Actually, I was trading off of these level. But in any way, we are looking at the SPY here. Remember, we're talking about this upper range of the expected move, and we're looking for this come up and get rejected. And if it break this trend line and also dip below this point of control here for this composite volume profile, we'll be looking at a retracement back down to this lower range of the weekly expected move down here at 378 and 375. So today it closed down here at 392. So keep an eye on this move. It could be coming down in the next couple of days to this area here. If it's not, then at least expect that for maybe in the next week or two. We expect this level here to 374 or 375 to get tested and possibly break below this. Remember, we're talking about that that consolidation area here on this weekly chart here. We're talking about this consolidation. And right now, it is dipped below this point of control here on this composite volume profile. And this is this balance area point of control. So once it gets below that, my expectation is for the price to come down and retrace back down to the other end of this balance area, because it's already came up over here, came up, tagged the upper end. So now we're on the coming down and try to tag this lower edge here. So now that the FOMC rate hike is out of the way, and also with the recent bank crisis did not change the Fed's mind on how to attack this inflation problem. And right now, I guess all those people that are hoping or dreaming for a rate cut this year might as well move on, because the message is clear. We will see more rate hike until the Fed decided that it is enough. And right now, it still haven't decided. So thank you for watching.